bullshitting is good enough.
Either way, I win.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the main event, the Iron Gauntlet Lock and Load 2018 World Championship event.
All right.
I'm Will Schick,
And I'm Lyle Lowry.
and we are here to kick off this Iron Gauntlet event to crown our world champion with round one action coming right now.
Yeah, I think Iron Gauntlet is the most exciting event on the calendar for War Machine and Horde streaming, so I'm excited we're finally here.
Absolutely, yeah. It builds over an entire year of players playing in premier events at conventions, in stores, earning their spot to come here at Lock and Load in Seattle and Bellevue and compete for the absolute opportunity to put on the gauntlet and be crowned the world champion.
And I think what's kind of crazy is of the 47 people in the world who qualified for this event, all over the world, 26 of them are here playing in this tournament right now.
Yeah. So we have the best of the best effectively for this year coming at you. You can see the Iron Gauntlet right there. That is what our players are competing for. A spectacular steel gauntlet that you can actually put on and wear to impress anyone who comes over or to threaten anyone who gets in your way.
That's right. This one is wearable, and I heard the judge warn the players not to put it on and slap anyone with it.
Dallas certainly tried to run away with it last night as well. You see our players right there. So our players for this round one are Patrick Dunfern and Matthew Bunting. Matthew has brought Crix with Goreshade the Bastard and Slaughterfleet, and Patrick Dunford has brought the Dreamer with his Grimkin. Tell us a little bit about that Goreshade list.
The Goreshade list is a Slaughterfleet list. He's running Goreshade 1 with a Statixis Blood Priestess and Charybdis and 2 Slayers. He's got Axiara, he's got Slaughterborn, a Misery Cage, Ironmongers, Smog Belchers, he's got Marauders, Blood Gorgers with Jusica Blood Tongue, and Shard Dirge Seers.
All right, and on Patrick's side, we've got the Dreamer. She is running a Dark Menagerie list, so it's all the War Beasts all the time. 2 Skin and Moans, 3 Cage Ragers, 3 Gorehounds, a Death Knell, 4 Gremlin Swarms, and 2 free Krabbits. For his Arcana cards, Patrick actually chose at the start of his game All Fall Down, which is the Dreamer's trump card, so she always takes All Fall Down. She took the Labyrinth Arcana card, and she took Sacrifice. So it's going to be an interesting matchup here. We've got a whole bunch of Crixie and Pirate nonsense versus the heavy hitters of the Grimkin army.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how this one goes down.
So the Slaughterfleet advantage you got to watch out for is the Crixjacks have Gang Fighter.
Yes.
He's got an extra 2 inches of deployment, and he's got some free models. I believe he took Axiara and Slaughterborn and the Blood Priestess as his free models.
All right, looking at our scenario for this game, it's coming up right now. It's Breakdown. So Breakdown, like all Steamroller scenarios now, has kill box, so you don't want to end out within 20... can't talk. You don't want to end within 12 inches of your table edge. You'll give your opponent 12 or 2 CPs, 12 CPs. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, game over, man.
It's been a long weekend already. We've got 3 zones. The 2 circular zones are scoreable by units as well as Warcasters and Warlocks. And, of course, the rectangular zone in the center is Battle Group. There's a beautiful shot of Hunger's head right in the camera. You can't see it, but we can. First player to score 5 more CPs than their opponent will win. Alternatively, Warlock, Warcaster, Assassination is also a possibility and will win you the game as well.
So for the players who maybe aren't too familiar with Grimkin, they don't have a feat, and that's why you don't see a feat counter on the bottom of
Correct.
Patrick's screen. And they have those Arcana cards that you were describing a minute ago instead.
Yeah, and so each Arcana card is kind of like a miniature feat. You can play them when they're triggered, and they are not necessarily triggered just by choosing to play them, right? So certain actions will bring them about. For example, All Fall Down. The Warlock can play this card when a friendly faction model is disabled by an enemy attack, well in the Warlock control range. From then on, after All Fall Down is played, when an enemy model destroys or removes a friendly faction model from play with an attack during its activation, at the end of its activation, the enemy model becomes knocked down. All Fall Down lasts for 1 turn. Labyrinth, if an enemy model advances and ends its movement in the Warlock's control range, for 1 round, all enemy models beginning their activations in the Warlock control range suffer -2 speed that activation. And then finally, Sacrifice. This is a classic one. Pagani uses it all the time. It drives you absolutely crazy. You can play this card when when an enemy model destroys a friendly faction model in the Warlock's control range. After the destroyed model is removed from play, remove all damage points from each friendly Grimkin model in the Warlock's control range. So, Sacrifice is one of those terrifying ones where you're just like, you can't spread out a lot of damage and then kill something. You just have to kill something completely, one at a time.
Yeah.
The mind games you can play with Arcana are super awesome.
So Matthew Bunting is kicking off the first turn, and he's making some initial runs over here. And both of these players have great-looking armies. I don't know if we got a good shot of both armies yet, but both fully painted, both looking really great. And it's a great table, too, that Danny put together, specifically Crucible Guard themed for our new Crucible Guard release.
Yeah, he's got a really fun color scheme. I love how his Marauders came out with the fire effects. They just jump right off the table. You know, I'm super excited to watch this matchup here. I think we've got a little bit of an advantage on the Crick side, on Matthew's side, simply because he has the units required to be able to control the 2 primary circle zones, which require units, whereas the Dreamer brought no units at all. So she's going to have to rely on those gremlin swarms to be really annoying and contest, as well as just getting her war beasts in and contesting zones. But the scoring potential for Patrick is definitely reduced because of that. You know, you've only got the Dreamer for the 2 circular zones, and you got a whole lot of stuff you can throw in that center zone, but there's only 1 there.
Now, you just saw Charybdis and that Slayer move into that circular AoE right there with the fiery fog-looking thing. I believe the judge just said it's just a smoke cloud.
Yeah, so the orange smoke, it's done to be themed to our our Crucible Guard table right now. So it is a fog bank. It's just a cloud effect that provides concealment, and you obviously can't draw line of sight completely through it like any other cloud effect as normal. It's orange because, you know, the Crucible Guard have been toying around with probably some knock. It might give
alchemical fog.
Might give you like cancer or kill you, but it's going to be like 12 years later.
Yeah, not today.
It's not going to be right now.
Not today, but maybe when
you're
you're
just
old.
get in there. And honestly, if you're from Cricks, you probably don't even notice. You're like, this is Bush League right here.
Every day is cancer for Cricks.
So just a lot of running, getting in a position. Matthew definitely trying to force that line of engagement. This one's a really classic one because the goal here is you want to move as far forward as possible so that you can kind of start to dominate these zones. So you can see a very even pressure here. Matthew's probably going to try to put his line right here. That's where he wants it. That stops Patrick from really being able to effectively get in the box to start scoring. And this is the goal right here. And Matthew definitely has enough bodies to kind of keep this pressure on. Patrick, on the other hand, needs to push past this, and he's going to want to try to drive this zone more to the center because he's the second player. The one benefit that Patrick has, scoring doesn't start until the end of his second turn.
Right.
So he has a chance to respond to Matthew. Matthew has to be careful not to over-push. But like we've talked about in a couple games now, going first can be a significant advantage because you get to dictate the line of engagement. And the further forward you can make that line of engagement, the better off you are overall in terms of the scenario game and simply forcing your opponent to react to you rather than to take the initiative themselves.
Look at the hat that Skin and Moans has. That's a nice hat.
It is a jaunty cap that Skin and Moans is wearing. So Patrick just confirming that his models are facing directly forwards, but due to their a little bit of overhang. He's going to maneuver them so that they can be placed where he wants them to be.
It's always good to tell your opponent that so you have a nice, clean game going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just being clear about what your intention is and what it's an imprecise game, no matter how tight it is, because there's humans moving the models, people lean on the table, models get shifted. There's all these variables. So letting people know this is how we do it, this is how we go. It just cleans up any of those misunderstandings later. So there goes the Dreamer. So Mirage goes on the front Skin and Moans. And we're going to see Artifice of Deviation also go up. It's going to try to cover the first two. All right, so I love the piggyback that has taken over driving duties on the. I can't even remember its name now. What was that? Death Knell. Thanks, Tony. You're there
Tony
for me.
to the rescue.
Tony's never audibly on stream, but he's always there.
Yeah.
He's like a guardian angel.
Tony on the
eating
spot.
beef jerky.
And he'll always be happy to share his beef jerky with you.
Will he be? I don't feel like Dad. He just gave you the big head shake.
Wow,
He said no beef jerky for you.
I thought if we put it out there on camera.
Yeah, no, Tony doesn't care. He has no accountability to these people. All right. So we have the Gorehounds advancing forward. Patrick checking to make sure that he's staying outside of threat range here. Make sure that line is staying up. I'm really excited. I have to admit, I'm really excited to see the smog belchers on this list. Looking forward to seeing what they can do. The Marauders, some of my new favorite models we've done. Like, the models are awesome, the rules are great. I'm really looking forward to this matchup.
There's too many bad guys on the table for me. I need my heroes to come save the day.
I mean, the Grimkin are clearly the heroes. They're clearly the heroes in this situation. All they're trying to do is punish wicked people, and these Crixians got in the way, and they're like, you can't do it.
There is some truth to that.
So, they're basically Batman is what I'm saying right now.
Right.
For the folks asking in the Twitch chat, it is Goreshade 1, so it is Goreshade and his Deathwalker trolling around. So, corrosion from the pool, another interesting terrain effect that they've got. That water terrain effect up there has been pumped full of Crucible Guard chemicals, so it is a corrosive pool. If you step into it, you do take corrosion.
Yeah, and Matthew took a casualty off of that.
Blood Gorgers are going to run, get up there and cause some problems. Quickly advancing forward, starting to get into scoring position on that zone. Next turn. Patrick Dunford doing a quick review of what Blood Gorgers do on his war room. As our judge, the Immaculate Hungerford put, proving that no matter how professional of a player you are, sometimes you just got to go, what does that model do again? So Axiara now moving, grants Repo 3 to the Smog Belchers. I think we're going to see some cannon shots. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
I'm excited. See some dice rolls.
All right. Smog Belchers are finishing their advances and now going to make some cannon shots. So shooting at the Gremlin Swarms. Can't see through the stealth. So we're just doing some deviations. But the cannons... What you looking at there, Lyle?
Just checking some War Room stuff. I heard the judge say that they have reposition, and I'm just checking where they got reposition
From Axiara.
Oh, from Axiara.
And one of the sweet things about the Smog Belchers is their weapons are magical, so they can affect those Gremlin Swarms. So we see another deviation. So clips the death knell for nothing. So many clouds, and then they get a repo out of it. It's so good. Oh, Smog Belchers.
So he's drawing line of sight to the death knell.
So shooting connects. So off 7 here, and does a whole lot of nothing with the Snake Eyes roll. And then repoing away. Get behind the cloud wall. Now very, very safe behind some line of sight blocking clouds and that obstruction in the center. And for those wondering, that obstruction in the center is played off of the diameter of the base. So even though there does look like there's room to move models in it, the whole thing just counts as a solid obstruction. All right. Matthew considering his next move here. Looks like a Slayer's going to go. Oh, Charybdis, excuse me. Advances up. He's going to create his own cloud. His much more impressive and bigger cloud.
That's a lot of clouds.
I know. So many clouds. Gerlach getting up there, getting ready to murder some fools. So you see the Marauders running around. Oh. Just getting ready to get into the action.
I bet Matthew has a cloud-themed name for his army. I wonder what it could be, like Cloud Industries or something.
Cloud Industries?
Yeah. Cloud Fleet, Slaughter.
Cloud Fleet down. So quick clarification on movement and threat ranges from the Skin and Bones. Slayer's going to run about 1 inch. Misery Cage has a corpse token on it from the start of the game. It's got shifted back over. Gorshade now getting in there. His Deathwalker coming with.
He's going to cast that thing where I move my jack. That's it's at least very descriptive.
So he Hellgates Charybdis, sacrificing a Marauder. So you just see Charybdis like disappear, and then all of a sudden this Marauder explodes as he turns into this flesh gate for this tentacle jack of nightmares to come out of.
I mean, if we were on theme, he would explode into another black cloud.
True. That might be too powerful. Cloud Shade. All right, so the Dirge Seers run, the Ironmongers run, and that will close out Matthew's second turn. So the big cloud that you see closest to the camera does cause corrosion if you enter it. And otherwise, there's 4 cloud templates on the table. All right. I'm curious to see what Patrick's going to do here. So much of his line of sight has been cut off.
Did you catch what that terrain is that's in the top zone? Is that a forest or is it rough terrain?
It's rubble.
Rubble.
I'm pretty sure. No, is it a forest? Tony's shaking his head. He says it's a forest.
Got it. And I know the one that
Has trees on it is a forest?
well, that one's definitely a forest, but so is the one that the Grimkin are in on the sort of right side of the screen.
Oh, we're seeing a quick measurement from the judge. Confirming distance here. Here's a 10-inch stick. Some precision measuring going on here.
This is a really close measurement.
It is. So we're going to see how it goes. All right. So Patrick saying that he's not really sure if the information that range is within helps him anyway, but it might.
Well, at least he knows he's in range if he wants to know that.
All right, Patrick going into the tank a little bit as he considers his next move. So Mirage is going to be upkept, but the movement's going to happen now. So apparition occurs. Quick measurement here. See that terrifying menagerie. So quick confirmation that the Blood Gorgers do have 1-inch melee.
You think he's thinking about just walking him up through the clouds to attack?
Maybe. Not sure where his distance was, but killing those smog belchers would be useful. I don't know if it's worth a Skin and Bones life, though.
Right.
Not for two of them. And thanks to Jusica Blood Tongue, the Blood Gorgers do have Vengeance. So if he murders any of them, they're going to get an extra 3 inches and a free attack potentially during their maintenance phase. I don't like how that death knell pig is just staring dead-eyed at us. It's very unnerving.
I like it.
You would. So maintenance phase is now over after all the apparitions, which makes sense. Blood Gorgers POW 11 on their melee attacks with Gang.
Now, we played this fabulous Undercity game yesterday that the Grimkin were the enemies in. And in that version, Skin and Bones had this crazy ability to rapidly heal himself.
Oh.
So
oh, my.
If he had that here, he wouldn't have to worry about that cloud so much.
Thankfully, this is not the case.
I don't know. I think we should change that.
Yeah? Maybe Jaunty Cap Skin and Bones can do it.
Right.
See a quick measurement going over the obstruction. So, Arcane Suppression is up, which means that he has to spend double the cast. He's going to boost. So, does manage to connect. So Dreamer's left on one. Didn't really hear what he cast, though.
Yeah, I didn't catch it.
So Enfeeble was cast on the Smog Belchers, it looks like, for -2 to attack and damage rolls.
I think the Dreamer may have got a Fury back. Did you catch that? I think they.
No, what happened is the Dreamer had to. So the upkeep would have cost double due to Lamentation from Gorshade, which is also why Enfeeble was doubled at cost too.
Uh-huh.
And so because Patrick hadn't realized that, he used a corpse in order to pay the additional cost.
Gotcha.
So they kind of did a little rewind because the rule was missed.
And Skinny Modes is engaging both of those. And he's going to hit them both. Hopefully he'll be able to take them out.
So tough and steady means not knocked down. Oh, my lord. Tough again. Oh, my God. Third tough in a row. Fourth tough in a row. Oh, it finally ends.
Wow. 4 toughs.
That is not what's supposed to happen there. Yep. Was this one going to have the same luck? No. He was not strong like George.
That was expensive.
That was way harder than it was supposed to be. Woo. All right. Well, after that crazy amount of attacks to kill one Blood Gorger, comes in a Cage Rager. So he's charging in. Going to start swinging some cages. So no tough. One Blood Gorger's down. Takes a corpse. Kills another one with a cage. And that one pops out into a Pumpkin Man.
Like you do.
So Dreamer decides to use Hat Trick. She replaces the box model with a Phantasm model of the same or smaller base size. She now has her medium-based Phantasm in, which has Annoyance, is also a Channeler. And just looks so cute. Me!
It's absolutely adorable.
I'm a pumpkin man. All right. See the Gorehound trying to decide what to do here. So you might have to go after some Marauders. He's charging a Marauder. Oh, so Enfeebled didn't go on the Smog Belchers. Enfeebled was cast on the Marauders. So that makes more sense.
He's going to go ahead and boost a hit here.
So eliminates a Marauder. I don't know if did he pay for Sprint?
I don't think so.
Looks like he's considering it, maybe? So Sprint.
I guess he did.
So outside his control range. So the Gorehound spends 1 for Sprint. Little laughter among the players as Patrick's tape kind of knocked that Marauder bit off kilter.
And he's trying to position the Gorehound so he's just out of line of sight from that.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up, another Crabbit going to get in there. Do it, little Crabbit.
Crabbit runs.
Crabbit just runs. Ah, little Crabbit. So Phantasm advances up. Just gets in there to be annoying. I'm a pumpkin. Deal with me. So they're pulling the clouds since models are going to get moved into them. Gremlin Swarms just being annoying.
Just being annoying. Just being great looking. Look at those models.
They look fantastic. Mischievous as all get up. Krabbit's getting in there. Another Gorehound, I think. Yep. It's the final Gorehound now taking its advance. And where are we going here, Gorehound? Okay.
We haven't done any lore where Grim can fight Crix, have we?
Not yet, no.
I'm just imagining that scenario in my mind because, like, when we think about Grimkin in the Iron Kingdoms, they're going after like the sinners, but the people who like don't necessarily see themselves as sinners, right? But like Crix like revels in their badness. So what would they even like? How would they feel about Grimkin coming at them? No fear.
I mean, I think the Crixians would just be like, look, this is what we call Tuesday. All right, you got nothing for us. They'd be so desensitized at this point. I don't think they'd care.
They're just like Grimkin are just constant white noise coming at us.
Basically, they're just like, oh, look, another thing. All right, so here comes the vengeance moves from the Blood Gorgers. So the puddle kind of giving a little bit of a problem. So Labyrinth is now triggered. So -2 speed will be applied now from the Labyrinth Arcana card. Played out from the Dreamer.
They got 1 point of damage on the Phantasm. 1 more point. And now he's hitting the Krabbit. Hits. Dice off 3. And it does 3 to the 4.
So Krabbit takes 3 points from the Vengeance attack. Poor Krabbit. Focus points getting placed out. Clouds all go away. So again, Labyrinth is any model that activates within the Dreamer's control range will suffer -2 speed. So 1 Marauder, and then otherwise pretty much everything on the north side of the board. So starting from the Marauders on up. So Patrick's Gorehound and Gremlin Swarm stop the Marauders from being able to score that zone. All right, so we're doing a quick proxy measurement here. Check a charge distance. So the Slayer is trying to see if it can get around to get within melee distance of the Cage Rager and start tearing stuff up.
Assuming that the Krabbit dies as well.
Oh, let's just assume the Krabbit dies. We live in a world of flight and fancy free, man. We can do this.
You have to charge in a crisp straight line, no banana charges here. So
You do.
they're using the laser line to make sure everything's perfect.
You can't wanted bullet curve it around the corner there. So it looks. Did it sound like they agreed that charge was possible?
I think yes.
Yeah. So the question is, what do you use to kill the Krabbit? So focus getting allocated out. Looks like the Slayer that's going to try to make the charge on the Cage Rager now has 3. Lamentation gets upkept for free. So the Dirge Shears are going to go first. Oh, nope. Blood Priestess is going to go first. So living enemy models, so for Ashen Vale. So we see the Blood Priestess murdering herself a Marauder. More Marauders are dying to Gorshade's work.
That's the cost of doing business in Crix.
So by stabbing her own dude, she ripped Enfeeble off with Dispel. So real quick consideration here that if you do a CRA and one of the models with the CRA has a magical weapon, then the whole attack counts as magical. So you can CRA normally not being able to hurt anything as long as the primary guy who's attacking does have a magical weapon.
It's the wonders of magic.
I know. It's magical. So Smog Belchers get Repo 3 again from Axiara. So the Dirge Seers looks like the Dirge Seers are going. Yep. So Tactician living from Axiara is allowing Matthew to move his models through each other. So we see one of the Dirt Seers giving Eyeless Sight and magical weapons to the front Marauder, and then another Dirt Seer giving another Marauder Eyeless Sight and magical weapon. So quick confirmation on the range. And we're going to see them CRA a bunch of flaming bombs, I think, into some gremlins. Because screw you, gremlins.
Right. Get out of the zone, please. Please, sir.
I don't think they're saying please. I don't even think there's a word for that in Crix. So see him just kind of get into move. So see a movement of 3 due to being in the Labyrinth effect from the Dreamer. The one Marauder that was. Deforestation continues. Got it on a 6. Straight damage. That'll kill a gremlin swarm. Magical fire bombs for the win.
Magical CRA. Confirming they're all in command range, and they are.
So 14 on the Gorehound with the 2-man. Hits with authority. So he's set on fire. It's a flaming Gorehound now. Ooh. 5 to 6. Not bad, not great. So it does hit on another 2-man on the Gorehound. 6 more points, not exactly what you're looking for there.
Nope.
So be curious to see what Matthew does to follow up on that.
Yeah.
With the Gorehound needing it to die.
Yeah, he was counting on that for a control point. So does he invest more resources into it, or does he give up that one?
I'm still curious how he's going to kill the Crabbit. Apparently, Gerlach's.
So that farthest guy was actually not in command range. They're just confirming with each other now. So they're rewinding some of the damage off the Gorehound. I think 4 damage off now.
So that second damage roll on the Gorehound was removed due to the command being misrepresented. Thought it was a 9, actually is a 7. So the 2-man CRA on the second 2-man CRA was impossible.
They're not as disciplined as we thought they were.
They are just murderous, crazed Trollkin. So Gerlach beats on a Crabbit. But doesn't kill it. So the Ironmongers now looks like they might be getting an activation. Smog Belcher's going to activate. They're just going to murder themselves some more gremlins here. So Smog Belchers are backing up, getting out of the way.
Time to shoot some gremlins.
Oof.
First one misses. It's going to go 3 inches in the 5 direction, so it's going to hit his own guys.
Whoops. Sorry, pros. Does hit on the second one.
So he missed because of the cover from the instruction.
Trying to kill himself a gremlin. Gremlin takes a point. So nothing on the next one.
And that roll was on his own guy, so lucky for him.
So misses again on the Gremlin Swarm.
Hit his own guys again. What were we saying about their discipline? Not very disciplined.
Not very disciplined. No, you can't give murderous giant brutes cannons and expect them to not, shoot whatever they want. Yeah, for those wondering what is in Matthew's dice tray, it is an homage to the famed Floridian manatee Snooty,
Oh.
who died a couple years ago under sad circumstances, but is not forgotten. So, R.I.P. Snooty
We'll pour one out.
for our manatee brother. So all these clouds are now placed. So just trying to get the clouds as close as possible. For those asking in the chat, there are 2 more games after this. We will be taking it all the way to the semifinals. The semifinals will be the first game streamed tomorrow, and then we will follow it up with the finals and crowning our world champion. So those are set to start. The second round of streaming is set to start at 9 a.m. tomorrow Pacific. All right, so just a ton of clouds.
Ton of clouds.
It's like some crazy gyroscopic nightmare right there, right now. Just rings everywhere.
I'm telling you, he needs a cool cloud name for his army.
Oh, sorry. Quick correction on our timeline. 10:30 a.m. Pacific is when our first round will kick off now tomorrow.
But we're going late tonight. So you should order your Chinese food, order your pizza, whatever.
Oh, man, I could go for some pizza. Like, just eating pizza on stream right now.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Just like, just devouring some sweet pepperoni.
Settle in for a nice long night of live stream, boys.
It's going to be good. So Matthew kind of in the tank right now trying to figure out what to do after failing to do anything against those gremlins for the most part.
Yeah, I think they only took 1 damage out of all of that.
Yep. Tacos? Oh, I'm going to get tacos later.
Tacos sound great.
Zero question. You could, like, just combine it. Taco pizza.
You know, taco pizzas are excellent. You ever
Kinda-
had one? They're great.
It depends on the place. There's some places that have some amazing taco pizzas. It all comes down to the taco sauce they give you to put on the pizza.
Sure.
All right, so we got some Blood Gorgers taking some swings.
So Smashy Man's swinging on that Crabbit.
5 more points to that Crabbit, which took some damage earlier in the turn from the Venged attacks. Second initial attack hits no problem with Gang. 2 more points to the 4.
3 boxes left.
Ooh, that's a tough Crabbit.
Corpse took him for the death knell, but the Crabbit is out of the way.
So connects.
He's swinging on that Cage Rager now.
I mean, might as well get some work done. That's not a bad roll. I think he's killing the pumpkin, man.
Oh,
I think. Yep. Pumpkin boy. So no damage on the next attack. Just trying to kill the Phantasm. Hits no problem. Ugh.
Dice Law 7 is rough.
I mean, the thing is, I feel like this is payback for the 4 tough roll like blighted troll. Oh, you might. Oh, boxcars! You finally killed a phantasm that's just gonna come right back. Oh, sad panda. All right. So with that excitement out of the way and an annoying pumpkin dude dead, this game can get underway. Matthew using up a lot of his clock on this turn. All right. So it looks like that Slayer is going to charge the. It's going to charge the Crabbit? No. A whole Slayer against a wounded Crabbit? So doing a quick measurement here. He's trying to block the charge from the Skin and Moans with Gerlach. Oh.
So he charges the Cage Rager with the Charybdis.
Okay, that makes more sense. Can Charybdis...
Charybdis does have...
Chain Strike for
Chain
the 4
strike,
inches. Yeah, so you can do some work. And Gorshade obviously can Hellgate his jacks out of trouble if he needs to.
So Chain Strike gives him a 4-inch reach only during his activation, so allows him to hit right here on the charge, though. That's a big deal.
So the Crabbit gets annihilated by a Tentacle Strike. Matthew now considering his next move here. So Slayer's going to advance. Okay. Gorshade's going to activate now. Gorshade advances. Whoa. Gorshade being brave.
Gorshade is fearless.
And cast nothing. Interesting. All right. Yep. There's the Hellgate. Because why wouldn't you? Sorry, Marauder. You're not as important. Yet another one just explodes as this Nightmare Tentacle monstrosity bursts from it. Fleshy Gate style. Slayer backs up. The Ironmongers are just going to advance up. And that's going to be it. So Patrick's turn. Matthew scores no points. Unable to get rid of that final Gorehound.
A little bit of bad luck there. And
so fire, 7 points. It's Goreshade's mind is, or Goreshade, Gorehound's mind is now gone. Goreshade's mind's been gone for a long time. Long time.
I don't know. I think he sees pretty clearly.
All right, so if you're Patrick right now, you got to be feeling okay. You're well up on time. You have all of these awesome things to kill. So this Cage Rager can probably get in here, kill these ones. You can have this Cage Rager. Probably maybe come down here once that Gremlin Swarm kind of moves and start taking out these guys. It's possible you could have this guy come over here maybe and get far enough so that this guy could charge down here. Depends on what the distance is. But effectively, you've got all of your heavy hitting power like right here, and you're going to swing this way. The only thing that you have to be worried about is, of course, this zone down here because you've only got one guy at the moment. This Gorehound probably runs into contest.
If he can get a lot of attrition work done this turn, though, maybe he's not too worried about a control point in the bottom zone.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think Patrick's win condition here is necessarily a CPs, right? He wants either an assassination or he wants to win on clock. So Lamentation is still up, which makes casting spells with the Dreamer extraordinarily difficult. Manifest Destiny right now, which Patrick really wants to cast, is going to cost him 6 Fury.
So he's hitting that Ogren in the back arc at the top of the table over there. He's got one in his back arc and one that is not in the back arc. And the Gorehound is missing like crazy over there. Pretty much nothing doing there. I guess the tables are turning a little bit on the luck.
So Dreamer spends 6 to cast Manifest Destiny. Lamentation using all those resources. Gorshade's not interested in your spells. All right, so Cage Raider's going to advance over to the side. Getting switched out for a proxy base. So he gets right to there. Gonna start bashing fools in the face with his cages.
Forces a tough check, which fails. He's gonna make another attack.
None of those Blood Gorges have been quite as resilient as that first one.
No.
They lost their spirit when Steve got killed. George got killed.
He just used all of their tough successes on himself, like a selfish guy.
Oh, Gremlin Swarm sabotaging some jacks. They're living the dream, those little gremlins. So they ripped 6 damage boxes. So Cage Raider's going to take a free strike from a Blood Gorger. Does hit. It does no damage. Smucks him, no tough. Is tough. Does the beat back for 1 inch. And We'll follow up there. Hits him again. It's tough again.
Tough
There we
again.
go. We found our new George. New George has stepped in. Ooh, Jusica takes it to the face.
Woo.
And she is dead. So Steady is now gone. Buys again, hits. That guy is still tough, but now he is knocked down. He's finally tired. Jusica, who he's trying to impress, finally died. And he was like, you know what? I'm just going to let this go.
And without Jessica, there's no Steady.
And Jusica got turned into a pumpkin person. Jusica lived a life of debauchery and murder and death and destruction, and in the end was crushed to death by a giant cage and turned into a pumpkin person. That's the story that Doug Seacat really needs to tell.
It's true. We should make that happen.
All right, so see the other Cage Rager advancing forward. Probably going to crush himself a Gerlach. Poor Slaughterborn. Got him. So 7 damage. Gerlach is still up. Misses on Gerlach. Misses on Gerlach. So boost does hit on the boost. Gets him. Gerlach is not tough. Come on, Gerlach.
Bye,
You're better than this.
Slaughterborn. Skin and Bones is going to charge the Slayer over there. The one with the jaunty hat.
And so we're checking the charge lane on this one.
Time to bust out the laser line.
Check out the laser. So looks like they found a legal place for him to charge. Try to tear himself into a Slayer, it looks like. How many Slayers can a Skin and Moans kill? A Skin and Moans kill. So here comes the first attack. Straight dice. Ooh. Nice. 11 to the 2. Hits no problem. 6 to the 6. Hits again. 9 to the 3. Hits again. And he only had 1 point left, so he was dead no matter what. And there he is. It's the Pinata. A Slayer has been turned into the element of cute that it always wanted to be. Blue. So Gorehound's going to attack the Marauder. So no problem. Tough check fails, so the guy in the back. So the guy in the back is now dead by an attack. Hits. And the guy out of command dies. And we're going to see sprint. It's going to cost 2 because of Lamentation.
Lamentation!
Every time. Patrick next year wants to sprint 2. He's going to sprint forward. Get in there, Gorehound. You've tasted blood and you want more. More. So the Gorehound effectively playing. Oh. So he was going to use the Gorehound as a speed bump for Charybdis, but then decided that it was a terrible idea, so he's just going to let it happen. So the Skinnamo's behind the obstruction that we can't see right now is attacking the last Blood Gorger. And he murderized it with 2 attacks. Death Knell. All right, so Gorehound trying to stay out of death range of those other Marauders. Another Gremlin Swarm right into it. So it's just the wounded gremlins now. So Crabbit. Pumpkin Juicica. Gremlins decide to back up a little bit. So Patrick will score 1 this round. So far right has the Dreamer in it, so he scores based on the Warcaster being in the zone. So now 1-0.
They're just checking to see if he should have got a corpse token, and they agree that he did. So he puts his corpse token over there.
All right. So no vengeance this turn. Matthew's got 7. The ring of nonsense clouds is going to dissipate. So Matthew kind of going in the tank, trying to figure out what he wants to do here.
This is an important turn for him.
He's got a lot of work to do, for sure. Now, he still has Gorshade's feet, so he still has a, free unit of murder machines that he can bring out.
Of course.
The big question is, can he do enough damage at this point? And Sacrifice is still up. and All Fall Down is still available. So the real question is, how much damage can you do with those 2 Arcana cards left to go?
Right. It's an uphill battle.
Sacrifice, like we talked about earlier, you've got to just focus on one guy, kill him, and then focus on the next guy, kill him, so that there's not a whole lot of damage spread out to just heal everything on Earth. All Fall Down can be difficult because it doesn't stop you from making a lot of attacks. Since you fall down at the end of your activation if you're destroying a friendly faction model, it's still going to leave you on the ground for Patrick's next turn. It's not a place you really want to be. For those wondering in the Twitch chat, the Dreamer is kind of directly behind the big Crucible Guard construction. She is right here. This is the Dreamer. Dream.
Beautiful.
I know. The worst writing ever. She's still fairly centrally located. She's still got a good coverage on the board. I'm really curious as to what all these smog belchers are going to do here, because they're kind of all clustered right behind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could have them go this way, try to, jam the zone, or maybe do some damage on one of these guys. You could have them go this way and help out, but I feel like you got all this stuff down here. It's going to push forward this way. Try to keep this line as central as possible at this point so that Patrick can't come across it and really start to force the issue and drive you out of the one zone that you can get to. So Matthew's still definitely in the tank here.
Do you remember what that model is between the 2 Gorehounds at the sort of in the bottom zone? Okay, that's a gremlin swarm.
Yeah. All right, Ironmonger's going to advance, back away. We'll expect one of them to put out a curse. So Curse is not a spell, so he can't Arcane Vortex it. So the Skin and Moans is now cursed.
How much is a point worth to Matthew right now? He could get a point if he kills 2 Gorehounds and the Gremlins.
I don't think the point is super important to him at this point in the game. Like, he's down on clock time. He really needs to just push for a big attrition run here so that he can start to, I think, push for an assassination. You don't want to get outstripped by the control point thing at this point, but I don't know if he's in a position to really effectively come back without dealing some serious damage. So I think it's attrition first, it's points second. Try to play the longer game, but you also have to play fast.
Right.
So the Deathwalker can't use Tactician from Axiara because she is dead. So Goreshade casts Shadowmancer. So the battle group now has -2 armed to anyone within 2 inches of them and stealth. Matthew's saying that because the Deathwalker doesn't have a melee weapon. She can't actually apply the -2 arm. I think we're about to see some Bane Thralls popping on the table here. And here they are. Wait a minute, you're not in theme? Gorshade don't care. Because that's why they call him a bastard. Your spells can cost twice as much, and I will bring models that are not even legal to take in my force.
Cricks and their dirty tricks.
Sorry, this is one of the fun things about Gorshade. It's like you've lost stuff, you feel a little down and out, and then you're like, I just brought on this unit for free, and now I'm going to murder your face with it. Now, you should look on your little war rooms there, Lyle, but is Shadowmancer upkeep?
Let's see, shall we?
I don't think that it is.
No, it is not. It's
Okay.
a round duration.
So one of the things is if that large phantasm dies, it has Arcane Pulse, which means all enemy upkeep spells and models within 8 inches of it expire. So Gorshade is just punching the pinata. He's cracking it open for candy. Give me your sweet candies. Oh, Axiara's getting in there. She wants some sweet candy too. What's happening? Connects.
So 5 off on the damage.
Sean is letting me know that the sweet candies are actually riot quests.
Sweet riot quests.
So Lamentation goes away from Arcane Pulse. Axiara is coated in sweet candies. So Axiara cannot give the Bane Thralls repo because they're not living, so instead she gives herself repo. So Axiara is also incorporeal because she murdered a living model. She reposts backwards 3 inches, being incorporeal. So spooky. Matthew, you're burning that clock, man. Gotta go a little quicker, please. All right, so here we go. Charging Skin and Moans, charging Cage Ragers, charging everything. Now, the thing that I'm really concerned about here is he's going to do all this damage with these Bane Thralls, and then he's going to kill something, and Sacrifice is going to come out, and all the damage the Bane Thralls did is just going to go away.
Yeah.
So I'm not sold on this course of action here. So misses the Cage Rager. So needs 8s to hit. First one hits. So 7 more points on one of the Gorehounds. Needs an 8, misses, misses. 2 on the Skin and Moans. Hits the first one. Off 6, takes 4. Oof. Not great. Not great. Misses on the Cage Rager. So not a great turn for those Bane Thralls at all. $12 left. Bane Warriors, yes, Cheddar Caveman. They're Bane Warriors. That's true. Unless, you're right. That's all I can say.
They'll always be Bane Thralls to me.
They will always be Bane Thralls to me. It's like a decade of Bane Thralls. That's right, John Will, 2011. They're all Thrall to me. They're Thrall the same. Correct. So, wait, why would... So, Eyeless Sight Magic Weapon, apparently, going on one of the Smog Belchers. 11 minutes left.
This clock is starting to freak me out.
It's definitely getting low. I mean, we knew that one of Patrick's main plays was going to be for clock.
I think he needed the Bane Warriors to be a lot more deadly there, get some more efficiency out of
absolutely.
them.
I think sending the Bane Warriors against the Gorehound specifically was an interesting choice in my mind. Unless you're just trying to tie them up, like they're there. They're certainly engaging in a number of different models. It's going to be a lot of resources to get through them. Patrick has a ton of fury on the table right now. But at the same time, you're really burning your clock pretty heavily. Oh, Chris Decker. These puns are the bane of my existence. But all right. So it looks like Matthew's come out of the tank a little bit to do some shooting with his Smog Belchers. Once again, spending some time to kill a Phantasm. So hits, POW 13. All right. So Gremlin Swarm is now dead. Now trying to shoot Pumpkin Juiceca.
We're under 10 minutes now, and there's still a lot of work left to be done.
There is a ton of work left. Especially when you're down on the CPs and you're only at round 4. That should destroy himself a pumpkin person. All right, shot, hits.
It's going to miss and
Misses,
deviate.
Deviates. So deviation clips the Gremlin Swarm. Then we have dodge on the Crabbit. Gets more in the way. So he misses because the Crabbit dodged into melee. So clips the Crabbit. So no damage because it's off 5. Matthew back in the tank here. So here comes Charybdis. It's charging the Skim and Moans. So here comes the attack. Hits no problem. So +1 on the dice. Onto the 6. Doing some good work. Attack again. So Charybdis right now, because of Gang Fighter and Curse, is mat 11. So 10 more points to the 1. Should be very close to a dead Skin and Moans. He dies. I'm assuming Sacrifice is going to come out at this point. Yep. So Sacrifice will happen. Everybody heals. Woo! And that is just that is depressing if you are not the Grimkin player. Marauders are going to advance. And maybe try to finish off that Gorehound, but now that it's no longer damaged, that seems like a tall order.
It's a big job.
Oh, 5 minutes, 30 seconds left. Down on CPs. I mean, when your opponent has 6 times more the time than you do, you're in trouble.
I mean, you got to set up an assassination next turn, or that's it. Pretty much.
That assumes that, I mean, he still has plenty to activate this turn. I mean, I don't even know where we're going to wind up here. So Slayer just runs away. All right. So Patrick scores another one, going up to 2. So he's guaranteed to go up to 3 this turn if he does nothing at all, which, of course, we know he's going to do something. So Gorehound takes some fire damage. So we'll see the Gremlins try to drop some of the fury from all of Patrick's beasts. But we're going to have some definite fury checks to take here, or frenzy checks. So the Gorehounds are going to frenzy. Ooh. Absolutely. He's going to go after a Cage Rager because he's very mad.
No
Doesn't
damage.
hurt him, though.
Cage Rager don't care.
That Gorehound also really cares. He goes after a Bane warrior. Hits no problem. No tough without the command attachment. So the Gorehounds aren't going to really be adding to anything here, but hits and murders himself a Bane warrior. I said Thrall again, like the Thralls. All right. Lamentation's no longer up because it got pulsed off. So all of a sudden the Dreamer is free to cast spells. Yay! So what are you thinking, Lyle? If you're Patrick and you're in this position, what are you going to do?
You just play conservative, I think. I think you just take up defensive positions and count on the fact that there's not really a clear path of victory for Matthew right now.
See the Skin and Bones apparitioning. All right. So doing a question. Trying to check to see if he can get within an inch of Charybdis. Looks like he will not be able to do that at the moment with the Gorehounds where they are. Just trying to get these proxy bases out. Quick measurement here. Just trying to see if he can get to Charybdis with any of his heavy beasts. Looks like those Gorehounds are going to ruin his day, though.
Yeah, and that's kind of interesting because you usually think of them frenzying like they lose their activations, but it's costing a lot more than that right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're in poor positions for sure. So Dreamer goes. He's going to use Abyssal Gate on Charybdis. But Charybdis is engaged, so it's going to be 16 inches. Or def 16. Hits. Does 2 points to the 2. Manifest Destiny goes up for 3.
A bargain at that price.
And Abyssal Gate is going to go... Gets to place him within 3 inches and turns him backwards, so his facing is now actually correct. And it looks like she's just going to back up a little bit. So, Cage Raider is going to get in there and start bashing fools. Just need 6s to hit. It does no problem. Arm 18 -1. Oh my gosh, that's a good roll. That's a good roll.
That's a good roll.
I mean, 11 points off the bat. Jeez. Then 10 points off the bat. Everything's coming up Millhouse now. Gee. The 9's not as surprising with Manifest Destiny, but the Cage Rager just does it all himself. Grabs a corpse, because why not? So Krabbit gets free struck and explodes. Making a way for the other Cage Rager to get in and beat on another Slayer. Checking his measurement here. So in he goes. Starts smacking him with cages.
Man, beating things with cages is pretty brutal.
It works really well, apparently. You know, you'd think it'd be kind of a terrible weapon, but it does the job. 10 points on the Slayer. Movement is now out on the Slayer. It's like a cage is going to go into the Smog Belcher's face. Or is it the Blood Priestess? It might be the Blood Priestess that we can't see. I don't know. I think it's the Smog Belcher, though. Nope, it was the Blood Priestess hiding
The
behind the
one
Slayer.
hiding.
Very, very carefully placed so that nobody could see it. Wow, he's going to give it to him, chat? Really? Sometimes you guys make me so proud and yet so sad. And the pinata's back.
Man, those
Slayer
cage ragers
pinatas
are getting it done.
So Skin and Moans advancing up. I don't know that I'd call this a conservative turn, but it's a very effective
It's
turn.
certainly effective.
Patrick is just destroying any kind of counterplay here.
Yeah. I mean, he's exemplifying.
And a mouse! The mouse has come!
He's exemplifying that the best defense is a good offense.
That's right. And the mouse marches forward bravely. And the pinata just dawdles to the side. Still have a Cage Rager to go, as well as the Death Knell, I believe. So Gremlin just runs right through the obstruction, using its incorporeal to great effect. Piggy Knell apparently runs, kind of block off access to the Dreamer. Simply just making it so that nobody can fit through that gap. So now we're just basically turtling up so that the Dreamer is completely protected at this point. Patrick's going to pass the turn. He scores 1, goes to 3-0. Matthew now in a really, really tight spot. Gorshid's going to charge a Cage Rager. So Def 10, Gorshid going to get some work done. Oh, so Gorshid instead is going to charge the Wounded Gorehound. So needs a 7, hits. So POW 16 from, so 13 plus 3. That should be enough to be a dead Gorehound. And All Fall Down, of course, is triggered, so end of activation, Gorshid will fall over. By on the other Gorehound.
4 minutes.
So +1. That's a really good roll. 15 to the 1. It's going to leave, I think it's going to leave that Gorehound with like 2 boxes. One left on the ground. Attacks again, hits because Gorshade is no chump. And that'll be a dead Gorehound. He's going to spend his last one to buy on the Cage Rager. I feel like this is just the blaze of glory right here.
Yeah.
Like we're just going to show Gorshade going crazy. Like the day is lost. I don't care. I'm going to murder the world.
We're under 3 minutes now.
So Dirge Shears are magical weaponing the Ironmongers. All right. Hits the Gremlin Swarm. Kills the Gremlin Swarm, no problem. And gets knocked down. The mouse, Def 14. Misses with Snake Eyes on the Cage Rager. 2 minutes left. Smog Belchers are just going to advance. So manages to hit on one of them, trying to kill the mouse. Kills the mouse. And try to beat a pinata to death. 1 minute, 20 seconds left. So isn't able to crack the arm on the Cage Rager. XCR is going to charge a Cage Rager. 1 minute left.
1 minute.
So XCR charges the Skin and Moans. Misses. Ugh. 45 seconds left. Whole lot of running. And that is the end of the turn.
Wow.
So scores another point. Patrick's at 4. He has now won. So Manifest Destiny goes out. And the Super Cage Rager is going to go. Xera gets to do a free strike. So arm 19 minus 6. Nice roll. Crushes the Bane Thrall. Warrior. Whatever. Oh, it's on us now.
Yeah.
Apparently we're done watching this game.
Okay.
I don't know why, because the game was still happening.
Well,
but
Patrick played a great game.
Oh, there we go.
I mean, like you said, it's academic at this point.
It is. It is. Now it's just all about, the carnage. Oh, there's the
there we have
handshake.
the handshake. Congratulations to Patrick
Yeah,
Dunford.
good job in round 1. We will be back very shortly for round 2, which you will be hosting with Will
I'll be
Pagani.
here with Will. I don't know. Will Pagani.
I think
yes,
it's Will
that'll be
Pagani,
fun.
maybe. It'll be a Will for sure.
Of course.
Otherwise, we have 2 more games to go. Thank you for joining us for this exciting match in round 1. We will bring round 2 to you very shortly. So stick with us, and we will be back in a moment.
Yep, we'll see you in a bit.